Do we still need people in our manufacturing sites? Hi there and welcome. Today, Andy Brazier and I want to answer this question for you. We read a lot about normally unmanned or light-out plants, where no one is working anymore in the plant itself. So Andy, what makes it particularly difficult for the process industry to work unmanned?
Well, I think there's a number of issues. One is just the complexity of a lot of our processes. It makes it difficult to get that level of automation that we would need. The type of equipment is not always so reliable, and we need to keep a close eye, so we often need people there to do that. And then we're dealing with hazardous processes, and I think we need to bear in mind that will the general public be happy if we've got a major hazard site there with no one present to monitor it and be ready to intervene if things happen to go wrong?
That's interesting. Also talking about the regulatory authorities you mentioned there, which has an impact. What we saw recently with the advent of the COVID virus, that there were drastic changes and in all industries, not only in ours, but in all industries. So what have we all learned from COVID when it comes to adapting to unexpected crises?
Well, I think on our process plant, we showed that we could move a lot of people away from the site. We still left the operations people and we still had people present and we had to organise that. But we allowed to move other functions away. And it just shows how we can adapt very quickly. And we didn't get much notice at all, did we? A couple of days and then suddenly you need to work from home. And we seem to have done that very successfully. I think we do just need to bear in mind that we dealt with the short-term issue and we need to be aware of the longer-term implications as well. We can work from home, but there are some negative sides to that as well that we need to bear in mind.
Maybe also thinking about the potential abilities of automation and artificial intelligence. There are some kind of limitations in both of them, automation as well as using artificial intelligence in the workplace.
The thing is, we can automate, and as like I said, we can automate simple systems and we can automate certain modes of operation. And the problem is we tend to only automate the easy things and we leave the difficult things for the people to take on board. So yeah, we can do, but for a process plant, we need to think about all modes of operation, and that is very difficult to automate. Now AI, artificial intelligence, seems to give us even more power, and maybe that can overcome some of those problems. But if you're running a hazardous plant, you need to be sure you understand how the risks are being controlled. And if it's AI doing it, do you really understand that? And maybe even more, like you say, the regulator, you need to be able to demonstrate to the general public and the regulators how those risks are being managed. And if it's by some AI system, maybe it's not so easy for you to explain that or for them to accept it.
And beyond these regulatory problems or issues which need to be solved, it's also a question on how can a company benefit from the people.
What I would suggest is we don't just look at the failures. It's easy to say people make mistakes, let's try and replace them with a machine. And it's the way we view the world. We have a lot of senses and we can take information from lots of different sources and we make sense of the whole world and what we need to do about it. Technology tends to only handle the very hard and fast data, and it's not able to make sense of the world like people can use judgment, make decisions, all those sorts of things.
So in general, there is a very strong need of having people in the chemical and pharmaceutical plants, and on the other hand, there is great technology available in IT and OT as well as artificial intelligence. So it seems to be obvious that we need to combine the best of both, so the human as well as the machines. But what is important when we want to combine them both?
Well, I think what we need to do is look for the positives and negatives of both. So people have capabilities and we have limitations, but so do machines, and so it's having that understanding. And if we're going to integrate the two together, we want to plan our system so people can do what they're good at, and then use the machines to help people do the things that they're naturally less good at.
So for the audience out there, I think it's clearly that we believe very strongly in having a combination of people as well as latest technology from IoT. That's our statement here in this conversation. And you folks out there, let us know what you think about our statement. Please react, send us your comments, and stay safe, and goodbye.
Goodbye.